Hello and welcome back. This is Jacob, and today we are gonna be continuing the file narration series for the various operators in Arknights and their voice files. Still going through round 4 of these narrations. We are once again in the sniper category, and today we will, as you can see from the title of the video, no doubt, we will have a double featured episode once again. It's been a while since the last one, but in this case we are going over the full file of Operator Kroose and her alter version Kroose the Keen Glint. Pretty much the natural progression and growth of the character as things have progressed in her life. But before we begin, we will take, as per usual, a quick look at the skills and talents, which there's not many considering this is a 3-star, but this one packs a wallop. And then we're gonna go straight into the file. So let's begin, as per usual. First off, the one and only skill is an auto offensive recovery skill, and paired with her very fast attack rate, it pretty much charges instantly considering it only needs 4. That it's pretty much almost instantly charged every time, and says here the next attack shoots two in a row, dealing 140% of attack in physical damage with each shot. And that is already quite massive, so both bolts are essentially gonna hit for a stupendous amount of damage. But then we also have her talent, which might not be the most reliable thing in the world. Oh, and as always, the trait on pretty much almost any sniper in existence is attacks aerial enemies first, but when it comes to her talent, it says targeting primary. When attacking, has a 20% chance to increase the current damage of that attack to 160%. Just a side note, the 160% here is boosted with her potential imprints. One of her imprints is essentially, as always, an improvement to a talent, which in this case is a extra 10% damage when this talent procs. But yeah, it is not maybe the most reliable thing, but it definitely can overlap. So for a 3-star, she can do potentially high amounts of stupendous damage continuously and very quick, meaning she's very user-friendly and beginner-friendly, especially because you pretty much just have to place and point her, and she will do her job. But now let us begin with the file, followed by the voice file. As a reminder, she does have a English-speaking VA, which we are going to be featuring in today's episode for just listening ease. So yeah, let us begin with the file, and then let us later compare this file and the stuff that we know about her to her slightly older version. But anyway, let's begin. Basic info. Codename Kroose, gender female, combat experience 1 year, place of birth Rim Billiton, date of birth November 22nd, very close to my own birthday, which is the 30th. Race Cautus, height 154 centimeters, infection status, infection confirmed by medical examination. Physical exam. Physical strength normal, mobility standard, physical resilience normal, technical acumen standard, combat skill excellent. Originium Arts Assimilation standard. Profile. Originally from Rim Billiton, Kroose also received her training from the Colombian garrison at Home Guard with Fang and Beagle. She's calm and constantly smiling as she maintains a gentle demeanor. However, she sometimes breaks her facade, revealing a sharp-tongued, ferocious side. Which, by the way, as a quick little side note right here, Kroose, this version of Kroose, has a operator record. She had it for a while, and I will leave the link for that operator record, because it is on the channel, in the description of the video. If you haven't seen that one already and you would like to see it, link is there in the description. But anyway, continuing. Clinical analysis. Imaging tests have shown the outlines of her internal organs to be indistinct due to the abnormal shadows. Originium granules have been detected in the circulatory system, confirming her to be infected with orypophy. Cell originium fusion rate 8%. She presents no obvious external symptoms of orypophy. Blood crystal density 0.23 units per liter. Degree of infection is minor and physical symptoms are not yet present. Archive file number 1. Kroose prefers to put in the absolute minimum effort in life and on the battlefield, which is reflective of her weapon of choice, a modern crossbow. Despite her lazy work ethic, Kroose has become a skilled marksman and assists her fellow operators by flanking the enemy and shooting them in the rear with deadly precision. Archive file number 2. Ever since she was a child, Kroose lacked initiative, but during training she showed an exceptional talent for marksmanship. On the battlefield, she locates ideal sniper nests, and rains down a hail of precise and deadly fire while backed up by her teammates. Both Fang and Beagle trust Kroose with their lives, and she is their support sniper of choice. Archive file number 3. While a member of the garrison, Kroose faced everything with a smile. Upon being infected with neuropathy and suffering discrimination, she had a complete change in mood. After angrily cursing out the other members of the garrison, she, along with Fang and Beagle, left the garrison for good. In order to find a way for the three of them to survive, Kroose searched far and wide before finally discovering their new home at Rhode Island. Archive file number 4. The always smiling Kroose often leaves others with an affectionate impression, but does so in order to avoid trouble. She enjoys finding quiet places to slack off and take naps. Although she is typically well-mannered and aloof, when something she cares about is on the line, her persona shifts into a more ferocious persona. Even when she is talking, she occasionally displays hints of that ferocity. This facade works on Fang, but not Beagle, as Kroose cannot withstand her piercing gaze. And yeah, this definitely shows whenever you have like a scene where she appears for a bit longer and lingers and has a moment to talk, especially in this her younger form, you can immediately tell that there is a different kind of person behind that smile. Which I mean, not to point fingers, but so far in all my years of anime experience, the characters who have these types of closed eyes are always the ones you should always look out for. They in the vast majority of cases are gonna be like, ah, you're the bad guy. But obviously not here in Kroose's case, but she definitely has something to her. But anyway, let's go into the voice file, which means I shut up and she gets to talk. So I'll see you guys at the end of the files.
Doctor, it's such a nice day. So can't we take a little nap? We're about to leave, but I just got up. Wait, is this the doctor's office? How'd I get here? Why am I always squinting? Because I don't want anyone to see my eyes. Nope, nobody. I'm really careless and get hurt a lot, but Hibiscus heals me every time, so I'm not afraid of getting injured. Oh gosh, that curing cuisine of hers though. I'm terrified of it. Doctor! Someone left 10 alarm clocks by my bed. Who would do something so awful? Doctor! Let's play a game. Put an apple on your head and we'll start. I'm always looking for fun things to do as a way to ease the pain of my neuropathy, I guess. Plus, I love seeing other people smile. One day, our journey with Rhodes Island will come to an end, and hopefully we'll all get to have a warm, never-ending dream lying in the sunshine. That's my #1 dream. Can't believe the doctor's a heavier sleeper than me. Hi, hi! I'm Kroose. I might be inexperienced, but I'll do the best I can. Thank you so much. A promotion. What a lovely dream. Huh? I'm not dreaming? Where's the rally point? Huh? Fang would make a better captain than me. Listen, everyone. Stay calm. Why can't everyone try to get along? Sure. Let's take it slow. I'm listening. I won't sleep on the job. There you are. Here I am. Take aim. That was tough. I think we did all right. I guess this was a bit of a letdown. Sorry. I'll fight harder next time. Can I get my beauty sleep in here? Have I matured? Arknights. Doctor. Oh.
Jesus Christ. Pardon. Anyway. Oh, I keep forgetting how ridiculous this is. Anyway, give me a moment to switch over to King Glint and calm myself. Alright, and here we are now with Kroose the Keen Glint. The slightly older version that is now a official operator. So let's take a look at what has transpired. As a quick little side note, this character can be obtained from the Invitation to Wine story, obviously, but outside of that, I think the only way to obtain her is when Invitation to Wine has a record rerun. So keep an eye out when you see it maybe in game being popped up, that you can go through that side story on your own outside of any other rerun. But when you see a record restoration on that story and you don't have Kroose the Keen Glint, you might consider going out of your way and getting her. She's a pretty decent unit, especially for a sniper. And why that is? Well, let's go over the skills. So, first off, skill number 1 is a offensive recovery skill, meaning that she only recovers it when she actually keeps hitting enemies. And that also means that probably best to use this skill on lanes with a lot of critters, if you want to have her in that kind of position. But it is a manual skill now, which lasts 13 seconds, and it boosts the attack, and this is on rank 7 obviously, boosts the attack by 30%, and the attacks, like before, hit twice in a row, and she gains camouflage. As a reminder, camouflage means that she is invisible to enemies' normal attacks while the skill is gonna be active, but she can still be hit by splash damage. So if something explodes in her vicinity that covers the area where she is in, she's still gonna get damage or even die. But yeah, moving on to her second skill, which is a auto recovery skill, lasts 26 seconds, so double the length, and says here attack interval reduces moderately and attacks hit 2 times in a row. After hitting the target 40 times, attacks hit 4 times in a row for the remainder of the skill duration. Pretty much a similar thing to the first skill, where you want her to have her in a line where either a lot of enemies are spawning or a lot of tanky enemies are spawning, so she can keep shooting and get to those 40 hits, which she will get pretty fast, considering her attack speed is slated as fast. She hits pretty quickly, and the last couple of seconds on the skill will pretty much be four individual hits per round of fire, which is quite insane. She can melt shit very fast, and despite the fact that it costs 40 to charge up, this skill charges up very fast, believe me. Furthermore, when it comes to the traits, the usual thing of the attacker is gonna prioritize the aerial targets, considering she's a sniper. But we have a new talent now, which is very similar to the old talent. It says Bullseye. When attacking, has a 20% chance to deal 160% damage and stun the target for 0.2 seconds. So pretty much the same thing. When you have her unlocked on full potential, it's again a 20% chance to trigger and to boost the attack by 160%, 150% on normal. But this time we have a natural upgrade in the form of a 0.2 second stun, which is interesting. Also, prior to this video, I learned that, because I looked something up on the wiki for her, Kroose the Keen Glint, so this version of Kroose, will eventually gain a module at a point. The module in its default form, I think boosts, if I remember right now, if I remember the number right, it boosts her attack against aerial enemies by 110%, I think that was it, which is quite insane. that is a boost. If you have maps with like aerial enemies, that is quite the boost. But yeah, anyway, let us go into the file and see what has transpired in between. As a also quick reminder, this version of Kroose gets introduced for the first time through the stories of Who is Real and Invitation to Wine. Invitation to Wine, once again, is the story where you can obtain her, so keep a lookout for a record restoration when it happens, if you do not have this version of Kroose. So, what has happened in between Kroose's original form and now Kroose the Keen Glint? So, basic info. Codename Kroose, gender female, combat experience undisclosed. Funny, they're not telling us how much time has transpired. But continuing, place of birth, Rimbilliton, date of birth, November 22nd, race Cautus, height, 161 centimeters. So as a quick reminder, Kroose, Fang, and Glint, when they... Kroose, Fang, and Glint? What? Ugh, my brain. Kroose, Fang, and Beagle, when they get to Rhode Island, they are still very young. I think, like, what, they're... I don't know if their age gets disclosed at any given point, but they are definitely in like their teens, late teens, I would say. Close, maybe close to 18, 17, 18, I don't actually know, but they're reserve op team A1 for a reason. They are still undergoing training. But at the same time, while they are not telling us here what the time difference is in between the original one, where it only said combat experience 1 year, we do have a slight indication here that in the form of her height. As a quick reminder, Kroose regular is 154 centimeters. Kroose the Keen Glint is 161. Meaning that I would say if they were in like their late teens when they joined up with Rhode Island, and the human body usually grows up until like somewhere around what was it again, the age of 20, 21, somewhere around there. Like that is your peak to human body growth. But yeah, definitely I would speculate like at least a year and a half to 2 years have passed, and that is quite the growth spurt to have at the end of your years as a teen, when you ask me. Because I don't know, I always think about that the majority of people have like their growth spurts either at the beginning of puberty or in the middle of puberty, but I don't think most people have their growth spurt at the end of puberty, which is interesting, because it might not sound like much, but that is like what, 7 centimeters? That is quite the spurt there all of a sudden. But anyway, continuing. Physical exam, physical strength standard, mobility standard, physical resilience standard, tactical acumen excellent, combat skills excellent, and Originium arts assimilation standard. Profile. Following extensive training and practical experience, Kroose has been smoothly promoted to formal operator status, principally tasked with field missions under the guidance of Rhode Island's instructors, and from tempering in the field she has greatly matured, gaining her own insight into and views on firing techniques and concealing movements. Clinical analysis. Imaging tests show the indistinct outlines of internal organs obscured by abnormal shadows. Originium granules detected in the circulatory system. The subject is confirmed to be infected with oropathy. Cell Originium assimilation 10%. Very fortunately, she continues to present no obvious external symptoms of oropathy. Yet again, we have a change in numbers here, with the original number being 8%, now 10%, but still no visible growth of Originium on her skin, or her skin being replaced by Originium, which is very fortunate, actually. Continuing, blood Originium crystal density 0.25 units per liter. Again, a slight increase from 0.23. Continues, oropathy shows signs of spread, owing to her undertaking in long-term field assignments. Close attention needs to be paid. Archive file number 1. After years of maturing, everyone can clearly see how Kroose has transformed. Is she taller? For a fact. Is her hair longer? Sure is. Have her tastes shifted? Seeing how she dresses now, you'd be right. Apart from those changes though, she still seems to be the same Kroose we know and love. She loves to play, laugh and goof off. However, if you ever see her curled up in some corner, napping, pay careful attention to whether she really is off guard. The old her would lazily greet you as you approach, still half asleep. Now, get just a little closer, and next second you'll find yourself caught in her trap. Then she'll shoot to her feet, free you from it, and tell you in that same old tone that it was just a little prank. But after seeing her proficiency at disassembling her traps, and that her crossbow was specially refitted with a bayonet, we're sure you'll realize at least one thing. No longer is she Reserve Operator Kroose. I will not lie, but this last sentence there, no longer is she Reserve Operator Kroose, every time I read that sentence, like literally just right now, there is a weird kind of lingering shiver, goosebumps that just goes from the top of my body through it, like, Not sure if good or bad, but it exists. It definitely exists. Anyway, continuing. Archive file number 2. Excerpts from Kroose's trapping notes on magic tricks. Marathon alarms. This is that prank that the rest pulled to get me out of bed, but now I finally get to use it on others. Wish I could see the looks on their faces when they wake up from their nap to find a few extra alarm clocks. Notes. Not to be used beside or on people in deep sleeps. They'll wake up grumpy. People stuck in combat situations get very sensitive around sound. That's how they become part of the trap themselves. One after another. Can completely numb the enemy's senses, or alert teammates that they are coming. But not all that practical, on account of all the alarm clocks you'd need. Switch out for appropriate substitute based on the battlefield. Next one. Invisible warning tape. There's a lot of fun to be had with a roll of clear sticky tape. Most classics when you stick strips all across a door frame and lead a good friend into it. Watching them get stuck or even trip really brings a smile to your face. Notes. Target must however be chosen with care and watch the mood they're in. If it doesn't turn out funny, apologize straight away. At first I used tactical rope, but nowadays this purpose-developed tripwire has the edge in concealment, weight and price. Based on real combat testing, this see-through threat gets exactly the effect you want, and even marries well with other traps. It gives you a level of lethality from the materials alone, and can be wound in a pitch to work as tactical rope. Considering how all-purpose it is, I should apply for a reel with logistics next time I'm on the field. Majorly useful. Next one, hollow cake. Repairing this one's a pain in the rear, but especially funny. Hollow out a hole in a cake, fill it with other stuff and then recover. Wait for everyone's looks when they come to eat the cake and find something nice inside. Notes: some people don't have very good teeth, so make sure not to stuff anything too hard. You're not just limited to food when you pull this one in particular in practical combat. Kettles, cupboards, supplies. Just use your thinker, and the world's full of stuff to use against your enemies. And the final one here, titled Me. My mates have always loved showing up next to me from out of nowhere to scare me, which got me thinking, if I use myself to draw their attention, won't it be even harder for them to notice all the little shadows where I've tucked my pranks? Notes: people have all their focus on you when they scare you, so you'd best not make any moves and give it away. What does the enemy most want to see? Me, of course. Me hurt. Me dead. The instructor said, no hunter hunts forever. There always comes a day when a sniper operator becomes someone else's prey. So why not treat myself as bait and give the other guy a nice surprise? Right, no hunter hunts forever. But there are some hunters who'll disguise themselves as the prey. Moving on to file number 3. After passing the examination and becoming a formal operator, Kroose is now qualified to accept solo missions. Her treatment of assignments is painstakingly concise. She can delicately sort out all manner of conflicting views, and she's more than fluent in communicating with her employers. She's never had a contract broken or an assignment failed. When on field missions with other operators, she rigorously abides by schedules and even raises her own views, all to ensure the mission succeeds perfectly. When on break from fieldwork, she remains aboard Rhode Island, where she'll assist the instructors by sharing her combat experiences with the reserve operators. Or perhaps she'll take part in some recon and solo operations training, either way keeping her itinerary full. The Kroose of today is a cheerful, good-humored and self-disciplining woman. She's discarded her bad habits and strived to excel at what she does. You've long since known that Kroose was worth trusting, but now you can rest easy while she's on almost any assignment, because you know she'll never betray your confidence. The facts have proven as much. Archive file number 4. At this point, how long has Kroose gone without rest? It all depends on how you define rest. If it means closing her eyes and sleeping, she isn't much different from back then. But if rest means unloading her burdens and falling deep in dreamland without a care in the world, in that case, it's been a very long time now. Because of her mistake. Or put another way, what she's fixated on as her mistake. In Rim Billiton, when Reserve Op Team A1 still operated together, a bolt skewered the body of a squad mate, and it left its eternal scar on Kroose's spirit too. If only she hadn't been nervous, if only her shot hadn't strayed, if only she kept it tighter aim, none of it would have happened. This is what she tells herself. Again and again. On the battlefield, everything changes in the blink of an eye, and she'd already done the best she could. Everyone told her that. But after seeing that scar in front of her, she still can't forgive herself. She should have done better. She has to do better. Ever since then, her sleeps become unusually light. She confirms the results of every blade of grass, every sound on the pavement, one by one. She's scared of her own negligence, of allowing another crisis to befall a comrade. She's long since been unable to sleep soundly, even aboard Rhode Island, and the reward she most hopes for at the end of a hard day's work has changed too, from never-ending dream to a simple breather on a bench. This for her and her alone is the price of maturity. And finally, the promotion record. Rhode Island Workshop Armaments remodel record. Client operator Kroose. Client armament Rhode Island standardized crossbow. Remodeling entry 1. Details of remodeling. Personalization adjustments. Result of remodeling: added trinketry in every known color. Reason for remodeling: personal operator preference. Remodeling entry 2. Details of remodeling. Sights. Results: removed optical sights, switched for iron sights. Reason: personal operator use habit. Speculation: optical, possibly obstructing field of view. Remodeling entry 3. Details. Personalization adjustments. Results: removed trinketry, added new trinketry onto crossbow's body, used high friction material by operator request. Reason: speculation, personal operator preference changed. Remodeling entry 4. Details. Whole body. Results: used newest material to increase strength of entire crossbow. Improved load method, further boosting operator rate of rapid fire. Reason: operator proposed adjustments based on near future fieldwork and change in style of weapon use. Remodeling entry 5. Details. Foregrip attachment. Results: installed bayonet on foregrip. Reason for remodeling: unclear. Speculation: for extreme cases where sniper operators has close combat needs. This is quite the tone shift when you think about it from from old Kroose to new Kroose, all going down from this one thing right here. A bolt skewered the body of a squad mate. And for those of you who haven't maybe read the Who is Real and Invitation to Wine stories, where this sort of surfaces a bit on the side, they do both mention and have, in a sort of way, a waking nightmare where they remember stuff. And it all points to the squad mate being Beagle, of all people, which would make sense why Kroose would have this massive of a tone shift in her character from the very lazy one who is trying just to avoid any kind of too hard work, to now doing everything she can just to keep herself busy, so the same thing doesn't repeat again. But yeah, all signs point toward it being a Beagle who got skewered by a bolt. Now, from what I know, we still don't know what has happened afterwards to Beagle. It does say here as well that every time she looks at... where was it? But after seeing that scar in front of her, scar pretty much indicates that Beagle should be alive, because a scar will only form if, well, the person stays alive and the body heals, right? You can't call... Actually, would you call a scar on the body of a deceased person? Actually, I don't know. That's a thing I actually don't know. But, yeah, every time she sees the scar... But yeah, anyway, after seeing that scar in front of her, Beagle should be around, I guess. The big question is, what is she doing? What is happening? Kroose is definitely avoiding Beagle from all signs. Beagle also might be somewhere completely different right now. Heck, the worst honestly, if she is alive, the worst case scenario is that she is in a coma on Rhode Island. That's pretty much the worst case scenario that I can think of if they're talking about a scar and Kroose being able to see the scar still. So, yeah, interesting. I personally hope that Beagle is alive. Please let Beagle be alive. Also, if Beagle comes back, I'm just gonna leave this here right now as a personal prediction of Beagle's return. I want Beagle to come back, but because of certain factors that have been shown about Beagle throughout some of the side stories, especially in that one single episode of the Vigilo series, where you can see, not spoiling the entire episode, just one single aspect of it, by the way, where you can see Beagle taking care of Ace's shield in one of Rhode Island's storage rooms. The shield that was recovered after Ace's demise, essentially. I want Beagle to come back as like Ace 2.0, essentially. Like, she definitely looked up to him, like others did, but they do point it out a lot of times, I believe, that she definitely looked up to him a lot, and that whole thing of her taking care of his shield kind of points for me that she could take over his kind of role in Rhode Island in the future. So yeah, personal wish, essentially. Beagle returns as an alter in the future, and she's essentially Ace 2.0. I'm saying this because I want Beagle to return with mother flippin' sunglasses. I just want to see her with some cool MLG sunglasses, just, hi, what up? Yes, and with that deep voice, hi, what up, I'm Beagle. But anyway, all that aside, let us go into the voice files and see once again the difference between Kroose and Kroose the King Glint, but now through the voice actress of the two. So, I will shut up and see you at the end of this.
We'll be alright without sorting these files, won't we? Then you can lie down and sleep for a bit longer. It's good for your health. At least you can get rid of those bags under your eyes. Got a heap of useful info from our mission in Yen this time. It's all written up in a report, submitted and filed. Come on, Doctor. I'm not a reserve op anymore. I can pull up my socks and write a report start to finish. Easy enough. At the end of the day, the best thing to do with apples is munch them outright. Or bake them into pies so you can share with everyone. It's too wasteful using them as targets. And if you just want to split one in two, you're better off with a kitchen knife. I've got a bucket load of magic tricks to bring friends closer. The marathon alarms, the invisible warning tape, the hollow cake. They're all brilliant. Which ones do you fancy learning, Doctor? I'm awake, Doctor. I'm not like I was then. It's not that easy to sleep even if I want to. So where do you need me? Any field missions? Maybe instructing the reserve ops? Accidents always happen too quickly. Quicker than a bolt flies, even. And I can never react in time. And then I just watch things happen, one after another, and... It'd be nice if I could see things coming a mile away like you, Doctor. At least when it comes to preparing, I've got confidence I won't botch anything. Doctor! Don't tiptoe behind me again! I know when you're close up most times, but on the off chance that you sneak a bit too well, I might just give you a bad scare out of reflex. We all came out of that fight in Rimbilaton a bit more grown up, but it'd be nice if getting better didn't come with a cost, you know? There's no place you can escape to, and no dreams you don't wake up from. When we face something terrible, we can only choose to give it our all, hard as we can. Might leave a sting or an ache, but at the very least, you won't carry that regret all your life. You know, it's a happy thing to fall asleep like that. Hi! Doctor! I'm back! Haven't got caught up in hassle lately, have you? That's good. Right, I'm heading back to my room to rest up. If there's anything you want dealing with, remember to give me a shout. Some still fight the same as ever. It's nice to see. I've gotten these badges how many times now? But whenever you hand me one, Doctor, I'm as happy as could be. Once you raise your crossbow, the only things left swimming in your eyes are your sight and your target. But before you pull the trigger, there's so much you've got to think about. It won't be careless and neglectful ever again. Hi, everyone! I'm here to slack off. All right, time to assign the tasks. We're heading out. Remember, mind your cover. Relax, the targets aren't that bad. Go ahead, I'm all ready and set. Oh, is it my turn? Shh, don't make any more noise. On alert. Where do you think you're going? Here I am. Stand still. Bye-bye. That's spot on work. Have a rest, Doctor. I'll keep a watch on the follow-up. So long as it turns out well, a little pain's no big problem. They won't be much threat. Do you want me to catch up with them? Orderly retreat, don't panic. This place is nice. Maybe I can find some beauty sleep in here. Not that way, Doctor. I've left an extra special surprise for my friends over there. Arknights. Oh, good morning.
So yeah, quite the difference, you could say. But yeah, anyway, this would be it for today's episode. Next time, we're gonna go into the caster category, and that just means we're gonna go over the next A1 member, which is obviously Lava. Which also means that the next episode in this series is gonna be yet another double feature. But yeah, that will be it for today. Hope everybody enjoyed. Hope you have a fantastical day wherever you are. Maybe consider leaving a like if you want to help this video be a bit better recognized in the algorithm of the YouTubes. And I thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.